All right.
Well, happy New Year. Happy New Year, not New Year's. Happy New Year, everybody. It's good to have you guys. Good to be back. To the fans, sorry we've been missing for so long, coming up on a month, but you know the holidays, they get busy. We had a lot to consume. We have a lot to talk about. We got a lot of things in the pipeline. How are you guys feeling in 2026? Let's start with New Year's resolutions. Trey, what's your New Year's resolution for 2026?
Number one resolution is to drink more beer. Number
Okay.
two is to
Fuck
smoke
yeah.
smoke more cigarettes.
Yes.
Basically, it's more beer and more cigarettes. Twenty twenty
Love it.
six.
Perfect.
Um,
Anthony.
I got a couple of that's a joke. I got a couple of small things I'm working on and got in the pipes. One, I really want to get off the internet. It's bad out there. Trying to reduce. Me and Anthony just talked about this at dinner the other night. Trying to reduce that as much as possible. And I don't know. I wanted to do a triathlon in August, so I'm trying to start working towards that. So that's gonna be a lot. That's pretty much my two big ones.
Nice. Anthony, what about you?
Well, not to take in any more dogs permanently. I like to put that out in the universe that I don't need any more dogs. In fact, yesterday the first? Is today the second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on the first, I leave my house. I don't even get to the end of the road, and there's a dog wandering right on Bearden Road, right on that main road, a little tiny Chihuahua or Terrier. And so naturally, I scoop him up, and now the whole rest of the day's mission is reunite this guy. And 8 hours later, we did reunite him. But of course, in my head, I'm like, he's going to spend another night, and here we go. But it worked out. So
Did he get out of like his like what's the backstory here?
yeah, well, I mean, the way that we got reunited was somebody sent me a screenshot of a post from 2 years ago of the owner looking for that same dog. So I was able, and there was an address on there. So I just went to his house and was like, "Hey, you missing your dog? You ain't out? Yeah, well, he's right here." So anyway, yeah, he had gotten out before apparently. So I gave him my card and I'm like, "Yo," I said, "if anything, I said, update his microchip info, and I will help you for free." Because he had a chip and I scanned him, but it went to his first owner who lives, 3 hours away from 10 years
Right.
ago. So just a long road to easily could have made that happen quicker. Or just
Yeah.
manage your dogs. That's really
True.
the yeah.
True.
But any other resolutions? I got one more, which is do more yoga because I was bad. I was good for a while and I was bad for a while of doing it on my own. But Trey just recently showed me a yoga studio that's right by the movie theater. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of
Hmm.
perfect. So I'm excited
Nice.
to hit that up. Trey, did you go to that class?
The Hot Works class, yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was it was interesting.
Oh,
I like it. It's a lot, dude. It's like 135 degrees in that little. You get a little private sauna studio. It's 135 degrees, but then they like someone's on like a little camera,
is
like a
it a?
screen.
Oh, it is a screen
Yeah, it's not
thing.
like a big group class. So I don't know. I don't know. You should try it. You can
I
do
will
it for
try it.
free.
I'll try it.
Like, what are your resolutions?
My main one is to read more. I'm gonna try to at least do 50 books. I would like to do 100, but that's one every 3 days ish. I guess one every 4 days, really. So I don't know. It might be tough, but there are some days where I could read like half a book in a day. So I want to do at least 50 books, and I want to write more, which will tie into something we'll talk about later. There's things to write. So yeah, but mostly reading. Mostly reading. I'm also
Gotcha.
doing dry January. So I basically did it a dry December. I drank like New Year's week, but I'm gonna do a dry January because I drank a lot of beer. And I feel like I gained probably 15 fucking pounds. So, but yeah,
So
we'll see.
not no beer, more beers, more
Not
cigarettes.
more
Right?
beers, kind of the opposite. Kind of less
I don't
beers.
like
Yeah,
that. I don't
more
like that at
reading,
all.
more
What
reading.
about your wrapped, Blake? Is your resolution to get an accurate wrapped
Yeah, I think I'm
representation
gonna
by
reach
the end
out
of
to
the year?
Spotify for sure. Definitely gonna reach out to
I
Spotify,
think
see
you'd be
what's going
cool listening
on.
to Drake.
See what's
Yeah,
going on
I
with the
know, right?
algorithm and then get to the bottom of that. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Happy New Year. Totally Biased Music, Blake, Trey, and Anthony. And today we have a lot to talk about. But the first thing we're going to talk about, Stranger Things after 9 years has finally come to an end. 9 years, 5 seasons, roughly 70-ish episodes, I think, or 62, somewhere around there. Quite the journey, quite an adventure. The last season's been getting this final season was getting mixed reviews. I really loved the finale. I thought it was great. I really honestly enjoyed the season as a whole. I think there's some things you can nitpick, but man, what a great ride it's been. Like, I don't know if you guys started watching back when it first released. I know that'd probably drive Anthony crazy having to wait in between seasons, but I did. And yeah, it's cool to see it come to an end and finally get some closure on some characters. And I just thought it was, I know I posted this on my Insta the other day, but I just thought it was so cool to be part of like a television moment again with everybody, because the last one I remember was Game of Thrones, and it was just so negative. But it was cool with Game of Thrones, just like you knew you were watching this with so many people, and it felt really cool to have that experience again. But what did you guys think? When did you guys, Trey, you just finished it. What are your initial thoughts on the ending? Did it stick the
Um,
landing?
I would say that it stuck to the landing, but did not push itself into like, that top tier of television like we've talked about in the past. But I think the finale was phenomenal. I think the way they got there was a little convoluted and like it felt a little, I don't know, padded in some ways. A lot of monologuing. But one thing I learned about myself throughout this finale process is if there's another television event like this, I'm really gonna try and stay off the internet because like
Yeah.
things just become things for people to make fun of, and then they're like really not that bad, or
Yeah.
they're not that big of a deal. For example, like the big scene that everyone's talking about, Will coming out as gay or whatever in the on that seventh episode. Like, was it a great scene? Not really. Was it a little corny? For sure. But like, was it that big of a deal? No, it really wasn't. It wasn't enough for everyone to complain about it nearly as much as they did.
Yeah.
It was kind of
Agreed.
dumb, but it wasn't like that bad. The only real negative thing I have for this entire season, and I haven't seen anyone talk about this on the internet, but my sister, my dad, kind of were all watching it together. And then someone else that I'm friends with was watching it, brought it up. But the amount of times that they like kind of used like the word goddamn and like a lot of forced like cursing, like there was like that little 8-year-old kid that was like saying "get that bitch" about like Holly. Like it was really weird. It was like they wrote it in to like age up the kids, and it's a little nitpicky. But like for example, the science teacher, I forget his name. I'm sorry, but when he's talking to Lucas's little sister, whose name I also forget, he's like she like says a curse
Erica.
word. Erica, yeah. So he says a curse word and he's like, Erica, language. And she's like, this is a time that calls for cursing. And then he's like, yeah, I feel pretty goddamn swell, like right after that. It's like, dude, like that's wildly unnecessary. And you just got onto this goal for cursing. You're gonna just like drop like what's arguably what people would consider in the 80s like a particularly bad word. It's just really weird. But
I
other than
saw
that,
people complaining about it. You're not the only
okay.
one. I
Yeah, I
saw
felt that it was just very forced.
it was more of
Um,
like people were mad they were taking the Lord's name in vain, which doesn't sound like your big gripe, knowing
yeah,
you.
I'm not particularly concerned with that part of things.
Yeah.
I'm more
But
concerned with the narrative piece of it.
right.
Yeah.
Um, Anthony, what'd you think of the last season and the finale?
Well, I mean, I'll just say, like, just on that thought of kids, like, you do anything surrounding, like, kids, there's gonna be some oddities in it. Because, I mean,
Hmm.
we were different ages. I mean, our time, like, when we were that age, the world was different. And obviously, it changes all the time, you know? So, I mean, and the corniness is laced throughout, I think, the entire series. To me, the 80s are corny. That's just kind of how I see the 80s. So when I watch movies like Back to the Future and stuff, you're going to get these, one-off jokes or these lines that don't hit. But like at the end of the day, you look at this whole picture, and I mean, over 9 years, that's crazy to think about it. But like, I mean, you kind of aged with these kids too, I mean, 9 years ago, we're different people. So I kind of look at the big picture of what I feel the Stranger Things is for me, and it's a generational story that kind of ends really nicely with kind of, basically the new kids going through the same things they were going through, right? Or kind of stepping in to fill their shoes, and it's a fun journey, and I'm glad to have been on it. I mean, I never found myself throughout the experience, I guess, of Stranger Things, like really harping on it or really sitting with it to where it like affected my day or maybe want to write a comment or a post or something on social media. So, Trey, I echo that thought so much of just like when you're going through these types of shows that are just deep in the zeitgeist, you either are like Game of Thrones, I was out. Like I still haven't watched Game of Thrones. Breaking Bad, I was out, and I still haven't watched Breaking Bad. I know that Blake wants that to be probably my New Year's resolution, but like
Should
that's how
be.
I found
Should
myself
be.
stepping out of stuff, right? And Stranger Things. Once I was in, I'm kind of along for the ride. So I'm excited now to watch. Have y'all watched Dark, the series Dark? I know it's kind of side tangent, but
I
I
haven't
haven't.
because it's a German show, so I know I'm gonna have to
So
read the whole time, which I don't mind. But it's like
isn't that your kind
it's a
of
commitment.
resolution?
Yeah, you kind of just said you want to do that more, bud.
True, very true.
He doesn't
But
get
I
to
don't
count it
know.
as a book, though.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Book on
Ugh.
screen.
Yeah.
But apparently that show has some similar story narrative parts to it. With this kind of like mystical thing people are going to go into it. I don't know what's on the other side. But anyway, I've refrained from watching that show, so I'm excited to watch it again. But I mean, this was fun. That's what I get out of shows like Stranger Things. It's a fun time. I'm not trying to learn about myself. I'm not really trying to unravel something deep. It's brain candy, and I say that respectfully. I don't want to downgrade this show because it's a highly successful show, but like for me, it's very surface level. But I thoroughly enjoyed it through and through, and I don't know. I was debating on going to see the finale in theaters just for that experience, but I everything's sold out in these tiny theaters now, so I watched it at home. But still a
Yeah.
great experience.
I
Yeah, I
think
really.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say I really liked it. I really liked the ending. I also fully believe that Elle made it out with the help of Kali. And I didn't catch this the first time, but the moment. So I watched it once on the airplane, but because I just had to do it because I was staying off the internet, because I knew I was going to see spoilers. So I watched it once on the airplane, then I watched it again at home with the sound bar, the TV, lights off. Like I rewatched it. I didn't catch that Mike hearing the feedback of the microphones in the graduation was him kind of realizing like, oh, those sound suppression things are on. There's no way she would have been able to like get out without the help of somebody else. So in my canon is that she did make it out, and that was kind of the thing they were giving you to be like, see, she made it out safely, like him remembering that in the graduation. But I thought that was really cool. I thought that it was cool that I could watch it immediately after and then like catch moments that I had missed. And yeah, I just thought it was emotional. I loved the ending. I thought the ending was perfect with the kids playing D&D and the exposition. And here's the thing: I knew like a 2-hour episode. I knew that the climax was going to be an hour in because I was like,
Yeah.
they're going to have to take an hour to wrap
Land
all
the
this
plane.
shit. Yeah, and wrap all this shit up. So I went into it like kind of glad that we could get the big battle and big fight out of the way. And I thought it was fucking epic, man. I loved seeing them all come together. I thought it was really like cinematically cool. I thought Elle looked like a badass. Like that was super fun. Like her doing shit like that. It was a nice sci-fi ride with a nice ending. So I thought it was cool. It's gonna suck. Like it's gonna feel really weird when this dies down in like 2 weeks and like everybody's on to the next thing and nobody's really talking about Stranger Things anymore. I wonder what the next one's gonna be.
This will probably be that show that I would say middle and high schoolers right now are gonna look back on, and there will probably be like some sort of, I don't know, the theatrical event that they can go to. Like I'm at, it's not gonna die. It's in the world now.
There'll be
I
a
feel like.
spin-off of some
Well,
capacity
they're
at some
definitely gonna do
point.
that. They're
Yeah.
doing that. They're doing a
Yeah.
spin-off, totally different characters, different location.
Oh,
But
really?
mhm.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did come out and
Oh.
say that. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I told Carly like her first daughter is coming up on 6 years now, and obviously like I don't think Carly would watch this show, but I told her I was like they really stuck the landing, and like I wish I could recommend it to you, but I know you don't like sci-fi stuff. I was like honestly when Baylor gets to like 11, 12 years old, that's probably the time like that she would want to watch it and she should watch it, and then you could be along for the ride then, and
That'd be
like
cool for
watch it
you.
with her. Yeah, like
Have
for
that
them to
first
see it.
experience together.
Yeah, see it together for the first time. And
Can't cover his eyes for the scary shit though.
yeah,
Cover her
exactly.
own eyes. No.
Well, it's like it's interesting to see just like the juxtaposition between. I kind of told her I was like, you want to wait because like the first 2 seasons are so different, and it gets pretty violent like towards the end. Like the 5th season is super violent, and it wasn't like
Mhm.
that to begin with. So it's interesting just to see how the show kind of evolved. Like I think each season has its own place within the run, and I think they're all great in different ways. But yeah, it changed a lot. That first season is like fucking lightning in a bottle, and they initially only wanted it to be a season, so that explains why it's probably the best one. But yeah, so good, so good.
With this last episode happening, prior to the episode, I was gonna text you guys, and I'm glad I didn't, but like I was gonna see who you guys would have thought. Was there any thought of any characters dying in the finale? Like not Kylie, like any other main characters. Is there any thought that anyone would
Yeah,
die?
I thought that like they would kill off like one of the original four guys. Like I thought they might kill off Dustin. I thought his
Ooh, that
arc
would have
might have
been
come to a
heavy.
close. Yeah. Um,
Yeah,
and
Now
the Callie death, like for me, I was like, okay, like cool.
you can see
if she died,
but like
if she
Y-
died,
Well,
that's
no,
the
she
thing.
definitely
she,
died.
We
She
don't
definitely.
know that though.
I mean, you don't know it for
you're
certain,
right.
but that was kind of the thing she was saying. Like with my like last, like my time was always gonna, or my story was always gonna end here.
Oh, I
Like
guess she would have
I
died in the
can,
upside down
yeah,
either way. She
yeah.
would have died in the
Yeah,
upside
she
down either
died
way.
either way. She
Yeah.
was saying like I can project you. My thing is, how did she get into Mike's mind without being in a tank?
She can do it without a tank. She did it a
Okay,
ton in the
yeah,
first
that's
season
right.
without a
Yeah,
tank.
you're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
Um,
Yeah.
I thought
Well,
that I pictured Elle either dying or being stuck in the upside down. I pictured her not being there. So like the ending that I believe happened with her leaving, I think works perfectly. Even if
yeah.
she'd been stuck in the upside down, I think that also works. I think this way leaves it to where like there's no like loose ends basically. Like it with her stuck there, it's so easy for them to be like it's 10 years from now and it looks like Els is back from the upside down because
Right,
blah blah
right.
blah. So like I'm glad they didn't do that, but I definitely pictured her dying or getting stuck there, one or the other. Did you think
One,
somebody was gonna die?
I thought Steve was gonna die, and when he falls off the, first off, this is my gripe with Stranger Things. Is it's edited for TV in a sense. Like there are seemingly like gaps for commercial breaks. So when Steve falls off this tower, he's fucking falling, and then it cuts to black, and I'm like, what? I'm like, he's fucking gone. I'm like that it's just crazy that he would have been the one, but then cut right back, and he's being held up by what's the other? Is it Jonathan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's being saved by him, and I was like, God, this it takes me out, and the momentum of these shows, and this is just a personal gripe, it gets taken out every time they cut right when shit's building, even though I know it's gonna build back up, but it's just I love momentum in movies, but this isn't a movie, it's scripted TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought Steve was a goner, and
Good to
the
see he
other
made it
thing
out.
I wish that, excuse me, I would have had more clarity on is retribution for the government for causing all this shit, because apparently they were behind all of it, and they were saying that all throughout the last few episodes. But I wanted to see Sarah Connor from Terminator get killed, the general of the
Yeah.
army. I wanted to see her get her due diligence.
I will say, like, that was my least favorite part is that her character, like, somebody posted a picture of her and they're like, all this bitch did was get in and out of vehicles. Like, that's literally all her character did. Like, she didn't really cause anything in the end. Like, she didn't, I don't know. I hated her character.
Did
It
you?
was like you already had an antagonist and a group of protagonists. And it's like they had to have one more element to, like, I know they had to have it, but like I don't know. I just did not like that character at all. She just seems so
I'm
useless.
sorry, Anthony. Did you say retribution for the government? That's not. That's not a
Yeah,
thing.
it's not sci-fi
Yeah,
for you.
that's not anything.
Not even
It's an
anyway.
'80s.
Fantasyland
It's an
can they be held
'80s movie,
accountable?
bro.
Yeah.
'80s movie. The government's good. Everybody knows that.
Reagan was the best.
Yeah. All right.
Just hope
Well.
people are waking up to those little hints of like question,
Yeah. Yeah.
who's making decisions, right?
Okay. Well, our album today, unfortunately, is the Carter Six. So this was a group decision, and the movie we will talk about later is Avatar. But I think we all landed on Carter Six because we are all Wayne fans, and we haven't talked about this album, and we all have different opinions on it, and so. Yeah, I'm ready to get into it. I guess I re-listened to the whole thing. I'm very surprised I made it through the whole thing. Like, as if it weren't bad enough, 19 tracks is crazy. Like, that's a lot of fucking tracks for this album. Yeah, I don't know. When did you? I listened on release. What were your first listen, and when was your re-listen?
I listened on release, and this is a rare thing that happens, but I was wrong. I was wrong and Blake was right. This album's
Nice.
really bad. Yeah, I
Nice.
think I just let the hype of like it being the Carter 6 and I've been looking forward to it for a while. And I think I listened to it with rose tinted earmuffs, which these are lavender, but whatever.
Yeah.
Um it's not great, man. I mean there's some good songs for sure.
There is.
Yeah, but there's some really big duds. And you're right, 19 songs is a lot. And there's some like they're far and few between the good ones. I'm curious. Anthony is a longtime Wayne guy, not a huge rapper guy.
Current hip hop.
Yeah, current hip hop guy. How did you feel, Anthony?
Well, let me back up. Okay, I want to ask Blake a question.
All
Okay,
right.
Blake, what makes a Carter album a Carter album? We're talking the Carter. Like, what makes it the Carter album?
Well, up until this album, they were good. So that's like a big part of it. Like they have to be good.
Right.
I think
that is
there's
a big part of it.
I think there's a certain type of production on Carter albums that is relatively simplistic but also era defining, if that makes sense. Like the Carter 3 and the Carter 4, like the Carter 4 has simple beats, but it made sense for 2011 when it came out. Like it was kind of that type of production, and same thing with Carter 5, but they're relatively simplistic, right? So to me it's a huge production like aspect of it. And just the way I think he raps on Carter 1 through 4 at least are all really similar versus other mixtapes and projects he has. So I would say that, but the overwhelming theme is like, he's going to bring his best work to the Carter. That's what I think of when I think of the Carter.
And it's gonna have a fire intro track.
Yep.
All the Carters have fire intro tracks.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And then also too, I mean, they're not this long, right? And they're not. There are some features, but I mean, there are some tracks on this album where you're like, did Wayne? Where is he? Like, is he in the back end of this album? Is he even singing in this album? Also, there's a lot of guitar in this album, and you save that for the Rebirth albums, right?
Right.
But like, I feel like this Carter, I wish it wasn't called the Carter. Perfect. Like, I wish it was
Yeah.
just called something different and we would have a totally different conversation. But because you give it that label, now everyone's expectations go right where they should go, right to the top. And for me, this album starts off good, but then it just gets messy and it gets into too many different lanes musically that like they're trying things. I mean, there's an acoustic track. I mean, and like I said, guitars playing with samples, which I like, but the features, I don't know. He features his daughter, Cameron Carter, on one of these tracks, which I thought that was like a nice touch. But some of these other features, I'm like, I don't want to hear anything really coming out of their mouths.
Yeah.
So it's very mixed feelings on this album. I obviously don't love it, and I haven't listened to it since it came out. But yeah, my big thing was if you call it something different, now you put everyone in a whole different position going into this album versus starting up here and then just falling right off.
Somebody posted when it came out and they're like, this shit is the Carter 5.5. Like this shit isn't even the Carter 6 because the first half of it is so good and the second half was like, oh, I was gonna make Rebirth 3. Fuck it, let's just throw it on here, whatever it is.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Were you gonna say something, Trey?
No, not really. I mean, some of these Rebirth-esque which I mean, like, it's kind of impressive that we survived through the Rebirth era and still came out with like the Carter 4 and 5, right?
Yeah.
And other, there was that like couple of years tear where like Wayne features are still fire. So like, the man's been through it, but this isn't it. Do we want to hop into top tracks?
Yeah, you can lead us off, Trey.
Yeah, I'll go with my top 3.
Pick up the energy a little bit, guys. Come on. I know
Trey's sick.
I'm super sick. This is how my voice would be right now.
Yeah,
it's awful. I feel like I'm an elephant. I feel like I'm Squidward.
I feel like you're peanuts to elephant. I think that's what
elephant Donald Trump.
I feel like I had a peanut stuck in my nose.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, we got Banned from N.O. First off, we love New Orleans in this house. And this is like a flip of like, I think the band like is like a series, right, of like tracks that he's done.
Well, the
They'll
band on No Ceilings was originally banned from New Orleans and then became
Okay.
banned on the streaming release. And this is like a rip of that beat. It's the same sample.
Gotcha. I thought there was more than one. I thought it was like three, not just two. But yeah, so it has the same sample. Wayne kind of does like his typical, like rapid fire kind of intro going to that dun, 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 which is great. Love that. Number two, I have hip hop featuring Big X the Plug.
Oh
Love Big X the
yeah.
Plug. That
Big X the
man,
plug.
yeah, and this is almost like it's almost like Wayne's rapping on a Big X the Plug beat, which is kind of interesting that it's, like a Carter album and this is very much like one of Big X's like style of like kind of that
Agreed.
like laid back like I don't know, almost like a poppy little vocal sample, but like in like a hip hop lens. So great there. And then number one, which I feel like is not even up for debate, and I think all three of us are gonna have it as our number one is Welcome to the Carter. That song goes hard as absolute hell. I'd line that up against any Wayne intro track, like actually. I mean, three Pete, I'm trying to think of Carter two. My head's really swimmy right now, but
Iron
um
Man.
Oh no, the mob is
the mob, I
Carter
don't know,
one. That's Carter one.
yeah,
Or no, that is Carter two, isn't it?
yeah, the mom's Carter too.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, the
but
mob is crazy.
yeah, there's some bars in here. I mean, even just those first couple bars of like you'll get on my nerves, I get high and land like a bird. Family first, family second, family third. Like that shit's gas.
And
So
delivered so perfectly too.
yeah, family first, family second, family third. Like and then like the beat drops right back in. It's great.
So
Love that.
good.
We got a couple honorable mentions as well. I got Cotton Candy featuring Two Chains. Just like continuing my recent love for Two Chains. All of these are in the first half of the album, by the way.
Yeah.
And then another one is I actually really like Rari, the one with Wayne's daughter on it. It's kind of like a little cruiser, like as far as like new, like kind of like a new era hip hop track. I actually really enjoy it. Like I could see this being on like a Need for Speed soundtrack. Maybe even like a little Madden soundtrack. I don't know. I dig it. So those are my
Fair.
top with a couple honorables.
Fair. I'm gonna launch into mine because I want to say something. If you swapped, in my mind, if you swapped the Days featuring Bono of all fucking people,
Oh
if you
God.
swapped that song with Loki's theme, you have a Carter in tracks 1 through 9. You could put that out as the Carter 6 because tracks 1 through 9, I was riding so fucking high on this album because those first 9 tracks, minus the Bono one, are so fucking good. And then it goes to Island Holiday, which throws you off. And then Loki's theme comes in. It's really good. So you're like, okay, hang on. We're getting back on track here. And then he takes a giant dookie wet shit all over us in the rest of the album. But
Why did this go through like his executive producer? Like, yeah, keep all that.
I have no like I
Maybe
have
it's
no
him.
idea.
I mean,
It probably
maybe
is
it's
him.
Wayne.
It
It
probably is him.
could. It could be, but like I just feel like if you swap that Bono song with Loki's theme, Bono song, you have fucking 10 tracks or 9 tracks that are all so good. So like my top tracks, I have Welcome to the Carter as the third best track. I like Trey said, phenomenal fucking intro track. Definitely stacks up against many other intro tracks. I think Fly In, or no, I think The Mob is technically the first track on Carter 2, and then it goes Fly In. But The Mob and 3P are just like, those will always be the upper echelon to me. But welcome to the Carter deserves a shout out. Number 2 for me, hip hop. Same reason. I didn't even really think of it, but it is so much a Big X the Plug beat. Like it really is. You could easily put this on a Big X the Plug album and it would work. I think him and Wayne on the chorus at the end together is really cool. Like their voices harmonize really well. I thought that was a really, really sick effect. And then my number 1 track is Cotton Candy. Dude,
Hell yeah.
Wayne and 2 Chainz
Nice.
together, it literally never gets old to me, man. I love Welcome to College Grove, Welcome to College Grove 2. I love this song. Anytime they're together, they just mesh so fucking perfectly. And it's just such a fun song, dude. I love the beat of this song. It makes me happy. It reminds me of like, it really reminds me of the days back when me and Trey were being the hoodlums in Auburn, driving up to Auburn in his Hummer. Like I could picture this song slotting in so perfectly there. and us just being so excited to go cause mischief and do all legal activities.
Wait, who is 2 Chainz and who is Lil Wayne in this metaphor?
Well, I just
feel
meant
like-
us listening to it, but I would like to be 2 Chainz.
I feel
if
like
I had
I'm
to
2
pick.
Chainz because I'm older, and 2 Chainz is older
Okay,
than Wayne.
yeah, that is true. You're more
Right.
unk status, and I'm more
That's what
big
I'm
bro status.
Yeah,
So
hell yeah,
that makes sense. But yeah, man, and then honorable mention is literally everything else from 1 to 9 except for the Bono song and like add Loki's theme there. I think they're all great. I think they're really fucking good. I will say Sharks is a little meh for me because of Jelly Roll. Like I'm kind of getting sick of that guy in the chorus, but
Why?
Big Sean's verse in that song goes crazy hard. So I still have it in there. But yeah, man, everything I have like fucking 6 honorable mentions because I really like those tracks. So that's what I had.
I don't understand Jelly Roll like as a thing.
He's a guy.
Not as a
Like,
person or musician, as an entity.
Musician is a generous word. Like I don't understand him as a trend. Like what's his thing?
He's a gospel vocalist. Like that's his
Gospel's a strong word too.
type of singing. It's what he does.
Yeah, I guess.
That's
not
what
Anthony's like, it's
It's
not
not
up for
for-
debate. It's a
it's-
fact.
It's not for me.
he's a country music artist, you know, and
Gotcha.
hip hop and Wayne and Eminem are taking like I think Sharks is a track like somewhere start like that I don't know what you want to call it, vocal harmony that Jelly Roll does or whatever he does. That's what they use to then kind of build off of this. And I think Eminem did the same thing with what was that song like?
Fuck.
Fact.
I can't remember either.
They should do a remix with Jelly Roll and do FAC. I don't remember. It's on the Death of Slim Shady
Anyway,
LP.
yeah.
Anyway,
But,
I got you.
okay.
What are your tops?
So the way that I broke this down is like three categories, right? The features that I liked, Sharks, Big Sean, sick, and I like how they use the Jelly Roll sample, and hip hop too. I mean, I think that's the same thing. I think that song is coming from Big X, making it to Wayne, and then adding in someone else to kind of just wrap it up.
Mhm.
But I like those tracks, Sharks and hip hop. Cotton Candy, that song is fire. Like I like that song a lot, and it has that song coming out in the summer was perfect because it has this like really bright vibe to the song, and of course they're both spitting fire on it. And then the Manny Fresh track at the end of the album, Being Myself, I like the way that the samples are used in that track too because Wayne is rapping right to the hook itself. So that's my bread and butter with samples. And then the last category is Wayne spitting bars. You know, I mean, King Carter, Welcome to the Carter, Bells, sick 1, 2, 3 right there. Like that's what got me into the album. And then, like you said, Blake, it is unfortunate that shit gets going downhill. But the last track on the album, Written History, I think, Blake, if you put that at number 10 behind those 9 tracks you're talking about, now you got a picture, you know, with a bookend of Wheezy just doing what he does on a very stripped down kind of track. So yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, I think that could
Nice.
work too, for sure. And it's so funny if you look at the streaming numbers, like the first parts, like the first half of the album, it's like 10 million, 6 million, 7 million. Then you get to the bottom tracks, it's like 1 million, 1.7 million, 2 million. Like everybody's like,
bots.
all right, we're gonna go ahead and turn this off, man.
Do you think maybe they had so many, like, just hoping for some type of hit or something to come out of it? They're just
Probably.
like, dump it all, like, some maybe like throw everything at the wall, something might stick. It's worth it.
Yeah,
I hate
100%.
that concept though
I
because
do
like
too.
there's a bonus. I don't know what you call it, a bonus album with a few extra tracks too, and it's like you could have either made this 2-disc or Carter 6 Part 2, Part Deuce. I mean, there's so many ways that you can like catalog the shit tracks in here and put them out there still, but like you tie it in as a Carter, it's like it hurts my heart.
Yeah.
True. What do you got for bottom tracks, Trey?
All right, bottom tracks. I got Island Holiday as the worst of the worst tracks. I don't know like if everyone in the studio is just like, let's see how bad of a song that we can make. I don't know how they cleared this by Weezer, which I'm assuming they had to in some capacity,
And we
right?
hate Weezer on this
We
podcast.
really don't like Weezer. So and I don't really like Rebirth either, if we're all being honest. So it's like Rebirth, Weezer, some money hungry executives all got in a room and just like shit on a piece of vinyl. So that was that one. All right, number 2 bottom track is The Days featuring Bono. You know what else we don't like on this podcast, or at least I don't? Bono and
Fuck that
U2,
guy.
man. I do not like U2 at all. I remember looking at the track list like as I was listening to this for the first time, and I was like, I don't even care what that song sounds like. There's no way I'm going to enjoy it. And I was absolutely right. This song is terrible.
It's so
His
bad.
voice is terrible. Wayne is like doing yeah, I don't know what he's doing here. And then my final bottom track, and there's some honorable mentions here, but I don't want to be too mean. Is If I Played Guitar, because like here's the deal, man. I'm a sad boy and all that kind of stuff, but and I'm a romantic, but the line she said I'm too hot for your ass and now my pants on fire. And then he follows that up with, but if I played guitar the way you play games with my heart, I'd play you a fucking song, so clap them hands that rub me wrong. Those are just bad lyrics, man.
So emotional, bro. It really gets me in my
I mean,
feels.
like it's deep. It's deep, maybe on a level that I just don't understand. But it's the I'm too hot for your ass and now my pants on fire. Playing a line off of Liar Liar Pants on Fire.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just don't know about it. So those are my bottom ones. That's what I got.
That's
No honorable
fair.
mentions because there's no reason to do that.
Yeah. I had Peanuts to an Elephant. That's also just horrendous. Like, what the fuck with the production? Who is he hire? Is he hiring SoundCloud kids from the suburbs to make him beats for this album?
He
Like,
really
that's-
might have.
That's
Well, I
what
was
this
digging
sounds
through.
like.
Because I was trying to look back at the other Carters and see, okay, Swizz Beatz, Manny Fresh, all these
Yep.
like known producers really putting out music, and on this one, it's like sprinkled in there. But
Do you
then
wanna-
all these other artists. I don't
Do
know.
you want to produce that track, Blake?
Yeah.
Lin Manuel Miranda, the guy who wrote Hamilton, produced this, is credited with producing this song.
There we go.
That is
really
real,
tracks.
real and true.
That really tracks. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That song is abysmal fucking dog shit. Island Holiday. I'm literally gonna go through and actually as I'm speaking right now, I'm gonna go to Spotify and say hide song so it never accidentally plays and I never have to hear it again for
That's
the rest
smart.
of my existence. And then I don't know, man. Take your fucking pick from anything in the back half of this album. I guess if I played guitar, I'd probably throw that on there too. Although now that Trey read those lyrics to me, there's kind of a new emotional element that I didn't consider
Right.
before that I need to start considering.
Now you're a little attached to it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I had. Anthony.
All right. So I'll start with Maria. So they're using this Ave Maria track, which is like a legendary just track in music general.
Right.
And yeah, and they shit on it terribly. So I just could not. I could not. Plus, that song doesn't belong in a Carter album. Neither does any of these songs that include his guitar. So if I played my guitar, Loki's theme, the intro, I'll give him the intro track, like King Carter, where it's just instrumentals and he's playing guitar. Like I can deal with that, but a song built around the guitar, not in this album. And number one bottom track is The Days, because Jesus Christ, I how does that get made? How does that get clearance? Like y'all are saying, I have
Dude,
no
I don't
clue.
know.
How much did Bono and U2 come together and say, we still got to be relevant? Let's get on this way now.
I would have helped them, honestly.
This is okay. Before we get into personal ratings, I want you guys to guess. We'll start with Rolling Stone out of 5. I'm very interested in these reviews. So let's start. What do you guys think out of 5 for Rolling Stone?
Rolling Stone gave it a 1.
I'll say a 3.
No way.
Rolling Stone
Don't
gave
trust
it a
these
3.
guys.
Rolling Stone gave it a
3?
3. Yeah, and they said the legendary rapper sounds contented on the Carter 6, even as he struggles to revive past glories. Here's the better one. What do you think Pitchfork gave it out of 10?
This is
They-
probably more real. I
they
think they
gave
give it a 2.
I think they also gave it a 2.
They gave it
a
a
1.5.
a 2.9.
Okay.
And they
okay.
said, seemingly written and recorded in a very expensive vacuum, the sixth chapter of Wayne's legacy making album series would be a disaster if it mattered at all. Which, fair.
That's so insulting.
That's real.
That's like ruthlessly mean.
It's so, but it's so true though. Like, 'cause
I mean,
at
that's
this
what we're
point,
saying, yeah.
they're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Like, does it matter in the end? Like, does it really
No,
matter? It
it
doesn't.
doesn't.
You know, it's like you can just pretend it doesn't exist, like I do with Encore. You know, just like pretend that it's not there and just listen to everything else. You know.
Yeah.
What do you guys give it, Trey?
I mean, dude, it hurts. I'm gonna give it a 4.
That
I'm gonna
might
give it
be
a
one
4.
of your lowest rated,
I think it is. Yeah, it's just
like
not.
of all time.
It was like, so I re-listened to it a couple times, and like one of them was in the gym, and I was like, this makes me want to go home. Like,
It does
The
the
excuse to just
opposite
take off your head.
of
Yeah.
Trey.
usually, like, when I'm in the gym and I'm about halfway through my workout, I'm like feeling really, you know what I mean? I'm like, I can do anything, and I'm like, this is just killing my vibe.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, fuck, that is so funny. Anthony, what did you rate it?
So I'm giving it a 6. I mean, if I've went through, counted up all these tracks I marked off, and there's about 8 of them. So a little over half are some tracks I could get down with. So 6 out of 10. Though I wish we were not calling this the Carter 6 and just some other shit.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give it a 4.5, and I want to give it a 5. But the reason it's a 4.5 is because there is more songs that I like than dislike. I think there's 10 out of 9 that I like. But the problem is the bad songs are so fucking abysmally bad that it drops at half a point. So 4.5 is what I got. Fucking
Can I
hell,
ask
man.
you a question before we shift gears one more time?
Yeah.
Is it possible? So Wayne would do the dedications, right? The dedications were strictly like just ripped beats that he would rap over. Can he do that in 2026? Do you think
Yeah.
people are willing to give him music to do that?
Well,
Because
he
I
was
think
at,
that's what you have to clear down.
Well, I guess D6 Reloaded was when I was in college. I mean, he definitely could. He easily, like, are you saying, do you think he has the ability to?
No, I know he has the ability to, but like I'm thinking like commercially, can they do that like they used to do it? Or
He could-
because
yeah.
that would be so
he
much
did
more
all of
successful.
that off the table. Like none of that was officially released, so it was all like mixtapes. He
Right.
did every
Yeah.
one of a mixtape.
And
He could-
but that's what I feel like. That's where he shines, or at least where he proves himself in comparison to the original tracks.
I
But
think
those
he
are always like some of my
100%.
favorite.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he still could. The Dedication series is really fucking good. Dedication 2 all the way to Dedication 5 is like phenomenal. D5 I still listen to occasionally on SoundCloud. Yeah, I think he could. I just don't think he really, I think at this point Wayne, like, I mean, he's rapped about pretty much everything. He probably just wants some money, you know. He's probably going to release studio albums, get some more cash from him, you know, do his thing. I mean, the guy's brain is kind of fried, man. Like, you listen to him talk and you're like, hey, you all there, bro?
He's
So,
not. He's not.
not.
He lived fast and hard, baby.
he did. Only way to
Yeah.
fucking do it.
Yep.
Okay, let's get into rides or dies. And Trey, I think you should lead us off.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I need to pull up not the song that I picked because I know what that is. That's Cream by Prince, and the Tower of Power or whatever. But the reason that I picked this song is because, as you guys know, Fish every year does a lovely little New Year's gag. So they do something kind of theatrical in nature, usually based around some of their songs. So this year the theme was It's Ice Cream, and they did a song called It's Ice, which is a Fish song, and they covered this song, Cream, by Prince. And basically what happened is the second set break features song focused on ice and cream and ice cream. Ice Cream Man came on during Harry Hood while dancing milk cartons appeared on stage, with the cartons eventually being discarded, and the dancers ended up exiting through a giant freezer. And then during 2001, Fishman, the drummer, descended into the freezer, and they blasted a fake Fishman off on a bomb pop into Madison Square
What the
Garden.
fuck?
And so there was a fake Fishman flying
Flying
around like on a
around.
bomb
Wow.
pop. And then they played Tweezer, which the lyrics of Tweezer are step into the freezer.
Very
And
nice.
so then they basically turned the entire MGM into the freezer in which they played Tweezer. And then dancers from all of the past New Year's Eve gags, like dressed up in the same outfits as the past New Year's Eve gags, all came out of the freezer, sang the lyrics to Tweezer in multiple different languages.
Jesus
And then
Christ.
they played another song called Spock's Brain, and then there was a giant milk carton that descended that had like a big missing Spock's brain with like a picture of Spock from Star Trek on it. So
Holy fuck.
yeah, I'm sure it'll be on YouTube shortly, but just figured that I would let you guys know what Fish did on New Year's Eve.
Nice.
I'd never heard the song before. I liked it. It was enjoyable. What'd you think?
Yeah, like we talked about earlier before we started recording, I have not listened to enough Prince, and for someone who loves guitar and music like this, I really need to listen to more. So I'm glad that you brought it. I'm glad that Stranger Things got Purple Rain, first time it's ever been used in anything, which I thought was sick.
Wait, what?
Is that real?
Yeah, Purple Rain is the first time that song has
like
ever been licensed out for any movie or television show ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
And they hyped it up. Yeah, and they hyped it up prior to, they told everybody we got a song that's never been used. And shout out to the people on Reddit, because there's people on Reddit that immediately were like, it's Purple Rain. Like, it has to be Purple Rain, because they knew that it had never been used
In the
before.
80s.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out to them for that. But yeah, this song fucking rocks. Really great
Nice.
song. And I'm gonna listen to more Prince 100%.
Hell
Anthony.
yeah.
I had never heard the song before. I know some from Purple Rain, but not a lot of Prince music, just like in general. I recognize it if I hear it. You know, he has a distinct sound and flavor of music. So this one rides for me. It really rides because it doesn't die. Like I said, I'm still I'm kind of indifferent on how much I like Prince's music or not. But maybe we'll get a chance to talk more about it in the future. So
True.
it rides.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Anthony, what'd you bring us?
All right, so I brought you this song by the group called Sneaker Pimps. It's like I think a late '90s or maybe early 2000s kind of trip hop group, and this is the only album that features the female vocalist. And this song is the first song on the album, and I fucking love this song. Has a really cool kind of mellow build, and then the girl's vocals are really fucking smooth, and then it breaks. Like the song kind of hits really good, and then it works it back down. So beautiful fucking journey of a song. Trey got to come by and see my little setup down here where I've been learning to scratch with some trip hop records, and ironically today in Seasick Records I'm just kind of browsing through killing time, and I look under the shelves and this album was in there, so I fucking got it today, so I'm excited to play around with it.
Was that
Very
before or
nice.
after you sent us the Rides or Dies?
After I sent you
Oh,
the Rise of
nice.
Guys, I think this morning, and then picked it up at like 3 or 4 this afternoon. So I was like, wow, there's too many things lining up. So
Very
Nice.
nice.
it's expensive, but what do y'all
Trey,
think?
what'd you think?
This gets definitely a rides for me. Also, Anthony's setup in his house, it gets up very hard rides. I got to scratch on vinyl for the first time in my life. That was pretty cool. I was amazing at it. I know it's not shocking, but yeah, the song, like the little like almost like the phone dial tone thing, like throughout, is very vibey. The drums have that kind of like typical trip hop drum. So yeah, I really actually enjoyed the song. So glad you found that record.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was cool too. Thought it was a classic Anthony vibe. Thought it was weird. Thought it was kind of grungy in a weird way. It's pretty heavy, but yeah, I liked it. I'm gonna give it a ride. I don't know if I would like. I don't know. I don't know if I could do a full album. Is the whole album like this?
So no, the whole album's not like this, and really, I think this song. Well, I haven't listened to it totally. I've picked apart a few of the beginning part of the album, but this song stands. It kind of stands alone, you know. And like I said, their future albums are a big drop off. I think because the lead, or there's the two guys originally, and then they brought in this female vocalist. So the next album, she went to go do another project, and they tried to recreate the same thing with one of the guys doing vocals, and it just doesn't hit like
Doesn't work.
this does. You know, like Sneaker
Yeah.
Pimps in this album, Portishead, they're like awesome with featuring these female vocals on these really dark beats. So it's a good flavor to kind of start dipping into.
Nice. I brought Soupy by Prof featuring Cause. And let me say something. I should not like Prof because I think he's very weird, and I think his style of rapping is very weird. And I don't like a lot of songs on his albums. He does have a song on this album with Redman, I think, or it's either Redman or Method Man, which I think is fucking fire. I have brought a song before from Prof called "I've Cooked Crack Before." Trey did like that song.
I did like that song. I remember that song now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so this popped up on my my hip hop mix one day, and I listened to it. I just love like Prof's flow in the beginning of this is so weird. It's like kind of breaks in weird ways. There's weird pauses, but then he gets into his flow, and I think the flow is really cool and the beat is really interesting. So I didn't expect you guys to like it, but it's been stuck in my head, so I had to bring it. So Trey, what did you think? Did it live up to "I've Cooked Crack Before"?
I did not make the connection here on I've Cooked Crack Before. That makes me almost want to give this a rides. But unfortunately, for me, if it doesn't ride, it must die. And it's just a little too weird of the flow and like the dun 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 dun
It
dun,
is
like
very weird.
yeah, over and over again, and it was a little goofy. It was a little goofy for me,
It's pretty goofy.
but
That's fair.
damn, dude, if I'd have known, I probably would have gone a
It
different
would change it.
direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anthony, what did you think?
All right, so this is why I'm gonna give this song a rides, and it's not so much as to what's going on in the song. It's because when I was listening to it, I don't even know what I was doing, but I zoned out, and then I looked back at my phone. I was like, "What was the song he picked?" And I was 2 tracks past it. So for whatever reason, this song doesn't die, so it will ride. But I need to re-listen to it because I don't remember shit about it. I just know I got lost in it, so it wasn't too
Okay.
bad for make me turn it off. So
All right.
give it a
Word.
rides.
That works. I'll take it. I'll take it. um, all right. So last thing to talk about, last thing on the docket is Avatar Fire and Ash. Avatar 3. I think it just hit a Billy, or it's close to hitting a Billy. If there was any doubt, which there was doubt from me if it would hit it, I thought that maybe the appeal had worn off and that 3 was going to bomb and everyone was going to be like, see, it was just the wait. Like, people aren't excited. These movies aren't good. I was wrong. I shouldn't have doubted Poppy James Cameron. He done did the thing again. I went and saw it. My first viewing was not the way I wanted it to be. It wasn't in IMAX, so I got to go back and re-see it. But did you guys see it in IMAX, and what did you think? What was your first viewing
Yeah,
experience?
I saw it on. I think it was opening night. Yeah, IMAX 3D. So definitely proper presentation. And dude, I had a really good time. I mean, Trey and I talked briefly, and we tried to keep it brief because we knew
We
we were
did
gonna come
cheat a
over
little
here.
bit, yeah.
Just a little bit, but I told it, it's like the beginning of the movie for me almost felt like we're going right back into what we had already experienced with The Way of Water. There's a lot of like diving shots and a lot of like beautiful landscapes and stuff, but as far as the storyline goes, I mean, I was involved as soon as the Ash tribe, was involved. I'm like, okay, now we've got more dynamics involved in this game, and we knew there were going to be more Navi um, at play, but I love this series. Like, I love this trilogy for the mythology behind the Navi people. Like, whether it's the spirit tree or Awa or the connection that they develop with nature and all. Like, I really enjoy that aspect of it. So I mean, I had a great time. I knew I was gonna have a great time, and I wanted to have a great time, and yeah, delivered for me.
Nice. Trey, you had some
Yeah,
gripes. You had some
yeah.
gripes.
I feel like this is my negative Nelly episode, and that's not how I wanted to start my year off necessarily. Because I've worked on my positive mindset for a long time. And I'm a generally more positive person, but let me tell you, man, it was beautiful. It was stunning. I saw it in the 40X thing, so I had like the cool little like vibrating chair thing. That was fantastic. Like, you would be doing a thing like they would be diving in the water, and like so that your chair would like move forward and then like move back, and it would like be shaking because you're in the water,
That's
and then
sick.
bullets would come through and it would like vibrate through the seat while it was still doing that. It was
Damn.
it was very cool. Um, but dude, the movie was just incredibly repetitive to me. I'm not even talking about repetitive from 2 to 3. I mean, how many times is someone gonna get caught and we're gonna have to go save someone? Like, that was the entire movie. Like, Jake got caught, she had to go save him. The kids got caught by somebody, they had to go save them. Then other kids got caught, they had to go save them. It was like non-stop, the exact same thing over and over and over again. So I just got really bored with that for 3 hours. I liked the character. I'm sorry I forget her name. The Ash lady. Um, not
Miss
that.
Chaplin, I don't know her first name.
Yeah. She was great. She was a great character. I like her like corrupting Quaritch. I think that was cool. I don't have that big of an issue with Corch being like a third, like him being the central enemy yet again for a third movie, although I don't think that's like great storytelling. Like I like that they were kind of leading into him like, discovering the way of the Navi and like accepting his like that he isn't actually a former human, like he's a whole different being. Like I think that was a really cool storyline. I wish they would have like actually fulfilled it rather than just like teasing it and then letting it go. And the big thing with AWA, like being able to for what's her name
Kiri.
for Kiri being able to tap in, and then she reveals this amazing. That scene is gorgeous, where Kiri and Spider see Aowa's like face, and it like turns or whatever, and she's like, I see you or whatever, is awesome. And then the build up for that is, oh, she can just send these other different animals to attack the people in the same way that the other animals have already been attacking these people throughout the entire battle and all of these different battles in Avatar. Like it just was a lot of build up with like not a huge like big like god character moment for me.
Well, but also you have to remember the things that they fly on, like, also started working autonomously without having riders too, because AWA was essentially connecting, and those animals that she does learn how to control were like they were trying to kill them earlier in the movie. Like that's the point. It's like the animals that were not involved previously that they couldn't control, or that they had to control or couldn't control, now we're working with them as like a unified entity. Like that was the cool part for me, especially the things that they fly on, whatever their names are, like them acting on their own without riders, I thought was sick as fuck. Like that scene when they all drop from the cliffs and nobody's on them and they just start doing it by themselves, I thought that was so cool. Like
Yeah.
I think that your criticisms are valid. I thought what was really cool was seeing the human aspect with Jake. Like I thought it was cool that they'd never really showed that before, but the fact that they like are having press conferences and like broadcasting it and calling him a traitor to the human race, like I didn't realize that was what
that
they
was
thought
cool.
of him.
I did like that.
I thought that was really interesting. And yeah,
or that he was known past just Quaritch, like as being like a
right,
like a trait, like what you're saying.
Right. Yeah. Everybody, and I thought that my biggest gripe was like I felt like they could have spent more time and fleshed out the area where the Fire Navi live. They're like, you see it for like one scene, which kind of bothers me, because like Way of the Water was so good for what it was because you'd never been there before. You'd never been to that world. And we spent so much time in this movie there. And the next one is called the Tolkien Rider, which is the whales. So I hope we're not back there again for an entire movie. But we'll see how it pans out. But that was my biggest gripe. I was like, I felt like they could have done so much more with kind of where they live and volcanoes and ash and all that stuff. But who knows? Maybe come.
That tribe is so based on shit that had happened to them in the past, and Avatar, these movies aren't really filled with a lot of flashback, details, right? It's kind of spoken, but it's not shown to you. So like, I wonder if in the future they would show, that tribe breaking away from the tribe versus just telling us or something like that.
Yeah. I also thought it was really like, I really love the Kiri AWA Immaculate Conception like storyline. I find it really interesting. I thought she's the most interesting character, and I think she's the narrator of the next two. I could be wrong about that. Or maybe she's only the narrator of the last one, but yeah, I love her storyline. I got so emotional when they're explaining to her like how she became to be, and they basically tell her like, you're AWA's child, like you're very special. I just thought it was a really cool scene, and
I did really enjoy that. I love that storyline as well.
Yeah, and Zoe Salonda, or however you say her last name, like as Natiri, holy fuck, she rips in every movie. She's like the star of the movie to me. I love her as that character. She's so good. So good.
The AWA shot where it's kind of like it's like an infant face, it's kind of turning like that. At least what I saw, like that's kind of a reference somewhat to 2001: A Space Odyssey, like the last shot in that movie too, which is pretty wild. And there was another movie that I couldn't get out of my head while I was watching Fire and Ash, and that was The Lion King, the original Lion King, where there's a shot in the original Lion King where, Mufasa's in the gorge and there's the giant stampede coming down the mountain, right? And there's a shot in Avatar where they're kind of in a semi gorge and the fire and ash people come flying over. You know, I was
Yeah.
like, wow, that's like spot on. And then
That's
later
kinda
in the
cool.
movie, Koresh is hanging from the fucking from the cliff, you know, and Jake's got an opportunity to save him, or I think it's Jake or Spider. I think it's Jake.
It's
Um,
Jake.
you know, with Scar and Mufasa, where he's like, there's two scenes in The Lion King where he's got him on the edge of the cliff and he chooses to let him go or not, you know. So
Mhm.
I just had to bring those references up because it was just too spot on. There's another scene too in the Avatar Fire and Ash that I thought of the Titanic. They were floating on some piece of wood or something from a boat. There's just one person floating on it. I was like, oh, wow, that's kind of funny, James Cameron.
Yeah, only one person can fit on that thing, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
I will say one thing that did piss me off. I'll say this before we wrap up: is that scene after he saves him, and he's like, "Well, this is awkward." I'm like, "Is it really time for jokes? Like, can we just have like a serious moment?" Like,
That's
I
a
really don't.
that's a Marvel effect right there.
Yeah, like I don't need the bit.
Yeah.
Like I don't need the funny haha, look at this. Like I hope I do hope that at like Trey was saying, I hope he comes back and they get to finish that storyline of him becoming like one with the Avatar, like with the Navi. I think that would be a really cool storyline if he kind of connected and became his own person or his own Navi, but I don't know, maybe he's dead. I doubt he is, but maybe.
Oh,
I doubt he's
yeah.
dead. I
They
bet he's
kinda-
incapable of.
It
Yeah.
kind of felt like they were gonna do like wrap that up at the end of that movie. That was just kind of one of my. Overall,
Yeah.
it was great. Overall, it was very enjoyable. I had a good time.
Yeah, I'm excited for the
Yeah.
next one. I need to go back and see it in IMAX.
So the next one's not gonna come out for another like 8 years, right? They're gonna have to like.
No, 4. I think it's
Oh,
4.
okay. I mean, I knew it was gonna be a while. I meant that like not even necessarily as a joke. I thought it was actually gonna be
Yeah.
long.
And what's gonna be crazy is like we're gonna blow the fuck up this year, so we might be able to just have our own IMAX theater and just watch it
Yeah,
for
right.
ourselves.
Yeah,
And
we
maybe
could be in
James
the
Cameron
movie.
will, yeah, maybe he'll take notes from us. Like maybe he'll hit us up and be like, "What can I do better?" And then we'll have like a bunch of stuff we can give him.
Yeah, we'll just give him this episode.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
I'm done.
All right.
6.
Well,
Cool.
yeah, we tell him we're like, "Okay, go listen to the Carter 6, and then you'll be able to
And
fully
finish
digest
Stranger
it."
Things, and
Yeah.
then
You just rank
listen about your movie
Yeah.
in that order.
All right. Well, good to be back, boys. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody
Oh
else.
wait, website announcement.
Oh yeah, website. Our website is releasing. When is it releasing?
It's ready
When
now.
we drop this episode. Okay.
Yeah, that's
All
ready
right.
now.
We're gonna publish the website, totallybiasedmusic.squarespace.com. I know it's a mouthful, but just bookmark it and you won't have to type it in. And yeah, we're gonna release it on the day that we release this episode. So be on the lookout for it. We'll advertise it. We got 2 articles coming with the release of it, and we have all of our episodes on there. Among some other things, there's ways to contact us on there if you want. And you know what? I might even put a little something on there for you guys to buy us coffee if you want to. You know, maybe a little Venmo donation, option. You never know. It couldn't hurt.
Gotta start
maybe,
somewhere.
maybe
Gotta
we got
start
big
somewhere.
fans that want to help us out. So, all right. Talk to you guys soon. Actually, could you guys stay on 1 second? Everybody else, we'll see you guys later.
Peace.